Hi, happy Thursday. Happy February. Here we go. Feels like kind of an accomplishment to have gotten through January, right? I don't know about you guys, but I'm like, phew, that was a long month. February's short, and then it's going to be spring. And in that vein, getting through kind of that initial like intensity of the first like what feels like the first real month of winter, and it is about to be flipping cold in New York. Oh my God, bundle up this weekend, turn on some heat, take an extra long shower. We're going to do a roll and restore today. So, specifically a roll and restore targeting your pelvis, hips, and low back. Okay, we're going to work from the feet all the way up. We'll get a little bit of everything, but we're really going to target opening up this central kind of channel. Okay, from an Eastern medicine perspective, as some of you know, like that was actually my first wellness modality was shiatsu therapy. So, all of the Eastern channels and philosophies of energy, the pelvis and the low back are all associated with water energy, which is winter. And similar to what happens in water in winter, it freezes, okay, and it gets really locked up. And then compound that with all of the effects of pregnancy and birth and postpartum and momming. This whole area of the body tends to feel like kind of heavy and compressed, right? And it's like, what if we could open it up, get it moving, let it feel light again, because the pelvis is designed in your body, it's in its function in your body is to be a transfer of energy, of power, of strength between your upper and lower body, right? Between your core and your feet and back again. And when it gets locked up, your lower half of your body loses that connection to power and strength. So we want to get it moving, we want to get it flowing and feeling good again. All right. So you are going to need your roller. I am using the squishy Pilates ball and the little ball, the little squishy ball here that we use for your feet. Okay, we're going to use all three of those today in some fun and interesting ways. Well, let's start by closing your eyes, have a seat, put your hands on your body somewhere, belly, heart, just even your lap. Take a couple deep breaths. Allow yourself the gift of zoning in, paying attention to yourself, paying attention to the moment, hearing your own thoughts, feelings, and body. I don't know if the sunflowers are angels always, but surely sometimes. Who even in heaven wouldn't want to wear for a while such a seed face and a brave spine, a coat of leaves with so many pockets. And who wouldn't want to stand for a summer day in the hot fields in the lonely country of the wild-haired corn? This much I know when I see the bright stars of their faces when I am strolling by. I grow soft in my speech and soft in my thoughts. And I remember how everything will be everything else by and by. It's from Mary Oliver. I grow soft in my speech and soft in my thoughts, and I remember how everything will be everything else by and by. And softness is equally, if not slightly more important than the stamina, the strength, the resilience, the persistence, the unwinding, the release, like the forgiveness of your body, yourself, your mind, your mom's self. It's essential to the other side of the coin of all the doing, right? So, to that end, take a deep breath. Come on up to stand with me. Bring your little ball with you. Put all the other props to the side for a moment. So, you're going to come on up. You're going to take that ball and you're standing on it. So, many of you are familiar with this foot treatment, and I would bet most of you think about it, but don't do it very often. Okay, so we're going to do it together. So, you're standing on in the very center of your foot, hands on your hips, shoulders back. I want you to breathe all the way down into that right foot. And then we're going to start to hula hoop the hips around. Just hula hoop, just hula hoop. Notice the two things that are starting to occur. One, you've got lots of sensation underneath that right foot, but also the sensation of kind of your nervous system and your breath deepening. And it's like, oh, okay. I'm standing up, right? And we're going to take that ball and we're going to put it up underneath the base of your big toe. Step into it. So I am on the metatarsal, meaning the ball of my foot. I'm not actually on the digits of my toes, right? It's basically the knuckle of the toe. So I'm going, that's my second toe. I'm shifting my way back. I'm stepping into my third toe. I'm shifting my way back. Fourth toe, fifth toe. Now I'm heading down to the arch. I'm just going to turn so you can see where I'm going. You stay in the orientation that you're in. You're going to take that ball into the inner arch of the foot, step. So I'm just shifting weight and stepping on different points. I'm moving up the arch, kind of moving up towards the base of the big toe where a bunion would be. We're going to the pinky toe side of the foot, right in there, outer edge of the arch, edge of the arch. Good. Now I'm taking the ball right up into the front of my heel. I'm gluing the ball of my foot to the ground. My knee is bent, and I'm sliding my heel back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, really digging. We've got to push down a little bit. What I want you to notice is what's happening in your hips while you're here, okay? Are we collapsing anywhere? Are you kind of feeling unbalanced? All that's normal. Just take a moment, see if you can lift yourself up, kind of feel like your chest is lifting, your back is lifting you, and you're thinking about gliding the top of your right thigh bone back and forth inside of your hip socket. Okay, so instead of just the ankle moving or just the knee moving, we're orienting the lower leg and all of the things that happen down there back up into the pelvis. We're opening up the whole channel. Now take that foot and ball and you're going to start to scribble, scribble, scribble. There is no right or wrong like to where you go on this one. Follow the sensations you're experiencing in your foot. Okay, going in, under the toes now. It just feels really good. And you're trying to be as relaxed as you can, kind of like your leg is swimming in water. Okay, but again, feeling that you can stabilize your balance and you're just freeing up this leg from the hip. Good. Pause there. Step both feet on the ground. It's like a whole life on this right side. Okay, other side. Stepping into it with your left foot. Standing into it and you're circling it around. Big breathing. Your voice and your gaze, your heart, the thoughts inside can all start to soften. You exhale them. You can release them back to gravity. Let them out of your skin, your pores, your breath. Open your jaw a little bit. And then from there, we're going underneath the base of your big toe. Step on in, and we're working through there. And second toe. And just letting myself feel rooted, equally uplifted. Good. I tend to find some of the most inspiration for my awareness as I'm into the arch now in nature, right? The concept of just being so rooted that you're free, that you're light, that you can rise up towards the sky, towards the heavens, towards the sun. I'm into the arch. Good. Now I'm into the heel. So we're bending the left knee, ball of your foot, heel on the ball, and we're digging back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Good. Things can get really heavy. The overwhelm is very real, right? There's way more to do each day than you as a human being or me as a human being can actually achieve and accomplish and still be sane and present to anything, let alone our kids, right? Like being able to hold all that, let it float, and you're here, relaxing and breathing. Scribble it back and forth, scribble it back and forth. There we go. It was like big wake up call with my youngest the other day, Lucy. I realized like at night, we're all doing our thing. Like my older daughter's doing her homework, like we're making dinner, we're setting the table, we're like wrapping up the threads of the day. And she finally was like, nobody's playing with me. And I was like, oh, you're right. I was like, every night, let's sit down. What do you want to play? Let's play a game. So that's become one of our new practices. Stop the doing, phones are off, and I just get to sit down and be creative playing with my 6-year-old. The best part of every day. And then release out of there. Go ahead, if you're feeling like standing on the right foot kind of got a little heavy, let's hit the right foot just real quick one more time. And then over to the left foot. So it's like, where can you start to just infuse those softer points in your day? Like, discipline the mind, discipline the stress, discipline the to-do list, and say, nope, right now I'm here. with myself, with someone else. Release from there. Okay, you can let that ball go. I'm going to get the roller. Okay, you're going to go ahead and have a seat on the roller. We're going to do feet in front, hands behind. So we're starting right here. You know, already feel like you've got some energy from the feet all the way up to the pelvis, right? Go ahead and lift your chest. Straighten up my roller. You're going to lift your chest, take a big breath in, and you're just going to start to roll the hips forward and back. So we loosened up the thigh bones within the hips. Now we're loosening up the hips and the low back, okay? So as you're pushing into the feet, they're parallel. Your knees are in line with your hips. You remember your parallel tracks? And I'm just letting my pelvis start to move. The roller moves, right? The whole situation moves back. So you saw what I just did. I just kind of lifted my butt and got the roller back underneath me, okay? And you're just going to take a second there, like feel what is. Good. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to take both legs together, take it over to the left. We're drawing circles. Now, same hula hoops we were just doing when you were standing on the ball. But now instead of the upper body moving, the lower body is moving, right? Conversations between the center of your body and the limbs, up and down. Over to the other side, sitting up. So again, the roller gets a little funky. You just readjust, then go to the other side and keep going. If this is tight on your shoulders, you can kind of come up onto your fists a little bit, sit up a little taller. If you've got a little more room, lean back, open the chest. Coming back through, come back into your parallel tracks. I'm going to take my hands to the ground behind me, and I'm just hitting my sacrum, right? So I just kind of slouched into it a little bit. It feels really good. Just like right up and down, right up and down. Good. Breathe deep. Like feed your nervous system with breath. Have a seat on the ground. Take that roller up a little bit, hands behind your head, and we're rolling off the back. So go ahead and take your time, just rolling, rolling, rolling. You can feel everything opening up there. Really nice. And then you're coming down to your neck. So come all the way down from there. Roller is right underneath the base of your skull. Watch your hair. You'll just need to move it out. And then head from side to side. So head to the right, head to the left. And move your jaw around a little bit. So this line from, it's called your occipital notch, right? That kind of like round shape at the base of your skull where your spine goes up through. It connects. You can kind of feel how it connects to your jaw joint, right? And comes down here. So if you move your jaw around, especially right in here, you can even rub it a little bit. Right? And then also opening up the base of the skull. It just sort of like creates all of this release from the head through the neck into the beginning of the shoulders and the collarbone. Look to the right. You're going to just gently circle. And again, just releasing, releasing, releasing. And then over to the left, little circles up and around, up and around. Good. And then big sweeps in the middle. And you can make a little sound even. It really helps kind of release the tension in these lines down the front of the throat. So, there you go. And then we're going to take that roller out. It is going now behind the back of your pelvis. So phase one people, you are very familiar with this position, right? So here we are. I'm just going to take a moment here. My feet are on the ground. My hips are on the roller. Remember, it's not on my butt. It's not on my spine. It's on my sacrum. And I'm going to take my hips and knees a little side to side right there. And just notice, okay, whew, wow, that feels good. I'm moving my hips. I'm moving my pelvis from side to side. Notice how the waist is also kind of gliding a little bit. And then you get it back in there. Good. And then you're going to go ahead and draw just your left knee up. So you're going to drop that right hip down, like kind of heavy. You can take your hands to the front of the hips. It helps. And then you're going to take your left leg straight up to the sky. You're going to try to keep the pelvis even, as if there was like kind of a soft sandbag right here rooting you. So you're not going to let the leg lifting kind of curl you in like this. So that might mean you bend the knee. Okay, if the hamstring's kind of tight back there. And then all we're going to do is think about internally and externally rotating the leg. It's like this really deep isolation. So same position we were doing with the ball underneath your foot, right? And what we're doing is waking up the rotators of the thigh bone. You're going to feel like, wow, this is weirdly difficult. So like zero in and just move my leg, not the foot, not the knee, but the thigh bone inside of the hip. Pause and center. We're going to flex and then point. Flex and then point. Relax your shoulders. Take a few deep breaths. A light transverse abdominal connection. That's what stabilizes your pelvis, right? And then from there, you're going to take your hands behind that left thigh. Let it bend, pull in. But when I pull in, my pelvis is not going to collapse underneath me. I'm going to pull it in. I'm going to straighten my right leg. Take a nice big breath in. Exhale, transverse abdominals. Internally rotate both the legs. Okay? And notice you can actually get a stretch that goes into the hips now. You can feel it like behind the butt, maybe a little bit in the low back waist. If you feel really stuck in the front of the hip, I want you to relax. Take a second and think of lifting the thigh bone over the hip bone, right? I'm using my arm, I'm using my bicep. I'm not forcing, but I'm exploring depth and new spaces. And then equally, my right leg is really reaching away. It's a good one. Stay there for a sec. And then your left foot's coming down. Adjust the roller. Left foot's on the ground, right leg is up. Find your pelvis. Sometimes you just look at it. Sometimes it's not where you think it is, right? So use your senses, use your hands, use your eyes, check in, use your breath. So that left leg is now pretty open. It's going to sit really parallel. And notice that as you start to internally and externally rotate the right leg, what wants to happen on the opposite side? Okay? So much of kind of the imbalances of the body between strengths and weaknesses comes from one side not supporting the other, right? So like right now the right leg is moving, the left side is designed to be the stabilizing side. So that's walking, right? You lift your right foot to take a step forward, the left side's supposed to catch you, okay? So in these like more quiet moves where we're isolating, we can really zero in and discover, like, oh wow, it's really hard for my left side to stabilize my right. Suddenly you found one of your weak links, right? We start by unwinding, we start by relaxing, but maybe you just spend a little extra time paying attention to the left side strength, right? Do a couple of extra reps every time you're on the left side. Pause there. You're going to re-extend the leg, point and flex. Really good for the ankles, like really mobilizing the whole foot, the ankle. Take some breaths. And then from there, slip your hands behind your right thigh. You're going to lift it kind of over the hip socket, right? You kind of feel like it can hinge across. And equally, the left leg is going to straighten. And you're going to look down. Did my hips just go into some funny twisted position? Take a breath, come back, transverse, and then play with the edges. Internally rotating those legs so that you're not using your legs to open the hips. The hips are staying very neutral. We're getting into the hip flexors. We're getting into the groin. We're activating the inner thighs. Good. One more big breath in there. Relax into it. Good. And release. Both knees up, feet dangling, hips gently from side to side. Now notice, if you are familiar with this move, this feels a lot easier than normal, right? Because we've opened the fronts of the hips, they're not gripping nearly as much. Pause at the right, chest and ribs are heavy, you're just marching your knees back and forth. So again, getting glide, right? So easeful walking, easeful movement. Over to the left, marching back and forth, beautiful. And then back through center, really nice. Both feet down to the ground. Go ahead and lift your hips. Rollers below your booty, nice long legs. That's open, close, and I'm hitting a prop. There we go. So my first position when the roller is right below my butt cheeks lets my low back lift, which I really like after I've been on the roller for that long. It lets it suspend and relax rather than all of a sudden just being on my low back. It can kind of be jarring, right? So just giving yourself this moment to release. And then I bring my feet to the ground and my butt to the ground. Roller can move down. And now my low back is really happy and released. And I'm in the middle of my hamstrings now, the backs of my legs. Deep breathing. It's like one of the most soothing moves we've got. Go down again. I'm right above the knees. Just open, close, open, close. Let it take time. You can cactus your arms. Use your foot, move it down. Right behind the knees, I flex the feet. And it's small. You don't want to pull too hard on the backs of the knees because it's your knee joint, right? You've got your kneecap on top. You've got all these ligaments and tendons going on in there, but it also is kind of gnarly back there. So you see I'm just doing like these very small little like frictions behind my knee. That's different than big sweeps behind the knee. That'll just sort of pull on the knee and it won't feel that good, but just these little rocks feels pretty good. And then you're going to go down to the calf. And then you're bouncing, 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 bouncing. And let it be like kind of playful and fun, right? And you feel kind of like you're kicking through water. and then down again. And you can see when you really let it relax, you can see what's happening in my low back and my hips. They're rocking, kind of like you're just getting kind of unwound, 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 right? There's actually, speaking of shiatsu, this whole shiatsu move that I do that actually like creates this sensation in the body. And you can do it yourself with the roller. My roller is stuck. Okay, down to the ankles, and then you're going to go open, close, right on the Achilles, right on the heels. Oh, it feels so good. Then you're going to go right onto the heels, and then watch. One more thing for the feet. Open, close, open, close, open, close. Push down, open, close, open, close. Really nice. Hug those knees into your chest. Just sort of feel that moment. And then you can roll yourself to your side or come right up to sit. All right, so from here, we're flipping over and we're going to get your quads, okay? So I'm going to come out on the hands and knees, and I'm going to put the roller right underneath the fronts of my thighs, okay? As I do that, I'm going to leave it there for a second. Hands and knees, cat-cow. So go ahead and just feel what you just set up in the back. You just opened a lot of things up, and we're focusing on, can the hips move? Can my shoulders and ribs move? Can there be freedom and breath in my trunk? Everything from my shoulders to my hips, all the way through. That's a fully functional open system. Good. And then from there, you're going to take the roller. Come on down. You're on your forearms, okay? My legs are staying parallel. So I'm going to rock a little bit, really make sure that they're in line with each other, in line with my hips, in line with my feet. My toes are on the ground to start. I'm going to push my toes down just a little bit. As I press into my elbows, this is not crazy hardcore work, but I want alertness in your transverse abdominals, right? So they are functionally part of your body. They're not just hanging out being sleepy. Okay, so give them a little lift. And I'm just pushing and pulling with my toes for a second. It feels really good. You can go a little right, a little left, just sort of like up, up, up on the tops of the quads, right? Now we can go ahead and walk the elbows forward and we can start to open, close the legs. Now, we want to keep the legs parallel. As soon as you start to open up like this, look what happens to the back. It starts to get really compressed, okay? We're freeing the low back. We're freeing the hips. So same motion we just did on the backs of the legs here, we're doing on the front of the legs. And I'm crawling forward, crawling forward, crawling forward. I'm almost to my knees, and it might feel a little special, right? I'm walking the elbows back, and I'm still opening and closing, opening and closing, opening and closing. Good. Now, I'm going to go ahead and come all the way up onto my pelvis. We are going to start to talk a little bit to the belly. So I'm on my hip bones right now. I'm right around a C-section scar, if you have one of those. So go gently, right? If you've got a scar and it's still really jumpy, you are completely in control of how far you go here. I am going up into the abdominal cavity, all right? So that means I'm going to actually walk my way back. Now I'm right in the belly. I'm like all in soft tissue. I'm under my ribs and above my hips. And I'm just going to relax. Take a breath. Like I can feel my pulse against the roller. Right? And I'm just going to kind of wave very gently side to side. Woo! And you're going to walk back and you're going to get it all the way. Now I'm at the ribs. Okay. So the roller is like right where my ribs open at the beginning of my diaphragm. And I'm rocking. Good. I know. And then walk yourself back up, walk it back up. Try to stay as relaxed. Don't fight it. Let the roller in. And come on up as you breathe in. Woo! Take the roller away for a moment. Hands and knees. You're going to go ahead. One more cat-cow. Arching, big inhale. Feel that room. Feel that your back actually has a little bit of space in it now because we opened up the restrictions in the front, the tension in the front. Like when we're stressed, what gets tight? Besides your jaw and neck, your stomach. Okay? Thread the needle. Right arm underneath. Exhaling. Glide into it. Big breath. Exhale. Relax the belly into the stretch. Back up you go. Other side. Left arm, big inhale. Exhale. Thread the needle. Just feel that space. And back up you go. Now we're going to take what we were just doing and go a little bit further with the squishy Pilates ball. So what we're going to start to open up is the tension line that so many of us are struggling with. I hear it and see it all the time. Your inner oblique and your psoas, right? So kind of these tightrope lines that lie right here, go down towards the pubic bone, down into the groin and into the top of the inner thighs, right? So that very deep internal line that has learned to hold you up while you were pregnant and never really turned off afterwards. But it's so triggered and strong that it really restricts and fights your ability to fully engage the functional part of your core, which is your transverse abdominals, your six pack, your outer obliques, right? That all those other muscles tend to get like short circuited because these guys just go nuts, okay? So we're just gonna take a second and really roll around and open these up. The ball is gonna be right around my hip bone and right into the inside, okay? Kind of like over my ovary, all right? So right up in there. This is sensitive stuff, but it's a really squishy ball. So it should feel good, but deep, okay, is where we're going. If anything hurts, obviously always stop. But this should feel like, whew, hello, I'm getting right in there, okay? But it's soft. Some of you, I know I've done this with a really hard ball before, and you know the difference, okay? This is the love session. We're just rocking around. So right now I'm on my right hip. I'm on my elbows and I'm trying to relax. So watch what I'm doing. I'm kind of like as if I had a tail and I'm just sort of like wagging my tail, right? And what I'm doing is we're moving the fascial tissue. We're moving the layers of the abdominal wall all around that right hip, like back and forth, back and forth. And you're gonna find a spot kind of like right above the hip, right at the hip bone. I'm gonna pull up my shirt a little bit, like right at the edge, like at the beginning of the ribs. You're like, wow, hello. You're gonna find the special points. So follow the sensation of your body. So you can really get into the tight ropes that are there for you. They're a little different for everybody, okay? You can go up a little bit, and I'm like right on my hip bone now, right at my groin. And again, I'm just washing it back and forth. Good. Whew. Other side. Here we go. And now you can see like the ball at my hip, right? Just like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. If you don't have a Pilates ball, I didn't mention this earlier, you can do this with the edge of the roller, like just this little bit of it, okay? Should have said that sooner. There you go. You can also try this with the edge of the roller. It's different. It doesn't have the same like softening into your body that the ball does. The ball like really pushes in through the visceral layers of the abdominal wall, but it'll get in there. It'll be a little more intense probably. Good. Back and forth. I'm above my hip now, right at the edge of my inner oblique and my psoas. Ooh, the psoas is that giant stabilizing muscle from your inner thigh through the pelvis, through the abdominal, back of the abdominal wall, and attaches to your spine. As a huge internal stabilizing muscle. By coincidence, it is also associated with the emotion of fear. And fear is associated with water energy and winter, right? Along with grief. They tend to like go hand in hand. You're just opening it up. Nothing wrong with those emotions. We just don't want to lock down around them. Gotta get them moving. They'll move, they'll reveal the truth, and then we can move on. And then back through. All right, whew, that was intense. One last one, right between the ribs. This one, I'm on my elbows, I'm on my knees. I'm not laying on the ball yet. I am gently gonna relax myself in, and now I'm moving my ribs. Back and forth, back and forth. I want you to breathe. Find the space of the elbows that allows you to really like feel the sensitivity of this space. Okay, the diaphragm is one of those muscles that, especially post-baby, it does not refine spontaneously depth and contraction and movement down into the belly. It can stay atrophied and like really triggered and like gripped and pressing out for years. Okay, so starting to like release it will allow it to start moving. Yes. Woo! All right, you're out of there. Go ahead and come on up and let all the balls go away there for a second. And just have a moment back on hands and knees. You're gonna go ahead and take your right leg back into a half plank pose. And I just want you to press down into the left foot, press down into the right foot, and feel that this is the same position we were in when we were on the roller, stretching the hip flexors. Take a breath, shrug your shoulder blades back, and just feel like your chest is reaching forward, your pelvis is reaching back, and then hug a light contraction into your waist. And just allow the hips to not be the source of all strength and grip for you. They can move. Good, I'm rolling forward and back on the ball of my foot. I'm gonna turn my heel down. I'm gonna kick my left foot out. We're going to a supported side plank. You can see my back for this. You can see how I'm gonna lift my bottom rib cage and open my top one. Big breath, everything back down. Left leg is going back, and I'm rolling through it. Really get curious about the back of the leg. The calf, its reaction and response in relationship to your hamstring up here, to the butt, to the low back, to the ribs. Like allowing the pelvis to recover its function as a gateway, not a locked door. Good. Big breath. Turn that left heel down. Right foot out, left arm over your head. Breathe into that left side waist. Whoo. Release the neck and come on back as you exhale. Leave the left foot where it is. The right shin is coming forward for pigeon. Here we are. So we're going to rock around in here a little bit. If your right hip is way up off the ground and you're like, I don't know what to do, grab that ball and stick it underneath your right butt. Okay, and then you can adjust kind of where you are, and you'll just stay up a little bit. You can come forward maybe to your hands. You can kind of explore, but this is a really nice place to feel the stretch and be able to relax into the softness of the ball without feeling like you're stuck, right? If you're down on the ground with me, we're just rocking in there a little bit. Good, and then release the back leg. Come on down to your elbows. Take 3 deep breaths. Exhale. Relax your face, close your eyes, and just breathe. Enter the experience of sensation in your body, attention with your mind, your ability to focus on something unconditional, like your relationship with yourself. And then start to walk your hands back up as you breathe in. Take your time. You're going to tuck your back toes under. We're going to take a down dog. So lifting up, pressing back. Go ahead and pedal it out. Drop your head completely. Extend the chest. And now play with the pelvis. Can you swing the tailbone to the ceiling, even if it means bending the knees? Press the hands into the ground so the chest reaches towards your thighs. And then relax the hips so the belly can fly up. Right? That just sort of like lift. It's reflexive. And then your left shin is coming forward for a pigeon. Here it is. And you drop into it. So again, ball underneath that left booty or not. If you don't have a ball, you can put the edge of your roller in there. You can also just throw a pillow in there. Good. Or a baby blanket. Or whatever is lying near to hand. Good. And then come on down. Breathing into the back body, letting your head, neck, and shoulders go. 3 deep breaths. Exhaling. The lack of stability we feel in the hips post-baby tends to lead to a reaction to like not opening them, right? And for a while, certainly initially, I don't do hip opening, but after a few months, you need to open these muscles because they're doing a lot of gripping and they're trying really hard to stabilize instead of the other muscles that got compromised, right? So just lovingly and attentively starting to open up these muscles, it can be such a relief on so many levels, but it also gives way to our ability to strength train the core much more effectively, right? From the pelvic floor all the way up and from the rib cage all the way down. Good. Go ahead and roll yourself on up. You're going to lean to the left. I'm bringing that right leg around me this time, crossing it over. So the crossing over is a product of your hips. If getting here is like, you're like this, I want you to take that leg out in front of you. Okay. So you choose where you're placing your legs based on how you're sitting in your trunk. So I'm going to take that leg over, but I can sit here, okay? So you choose your point. You're gonna pull that knee in a little bit and just find a central spine. So that lift, your sunflower stalk. Go ahead and draw it in. I like thinking about sunflowers in the middle of winter. Right arm up, big breath in, and we're gonna twist to the right, exhaling. Now, when you get to the right, you can see my back. I want you to feel that the shoulder blades are gently gonna come together and reveal your chest. So that when you twist, it's not the shoulders pushing around you like this and collapsing around you. It's the chest being revealed, the back engaging, and the waist gliding. Take a big breath. Big exhale. and then back through center. Beautiful. Other side. Left leg over, right leg under. Find your spot. You're sitting up nice and tall. Try to relax the front of the hips, right? What we were doing when we were on the roller. Gather that left leg in and then twist. And then you'll get here and you're like, wait a minute, my shoulders. Shoulder blades back, chest revealed, breathing. Exhaling. Beautiful. And then releasing from there. You can come back and around. We're actually going to open your legs out for a straddle from that. Okay. Now, your straddle, I know I can already see and hear your responses. Okay. It can be here. It's totally fine. I am me. I'm going to open my legs to my straddle. You can lift your butt and get onto the pelvic floor. Okay. So I'm not fighting my posture. I'm getting up onto my pelvic floor. And then you just stay there. You can keep your hands back behind you. What we're working on is letting go of this grip in favor of the support here, right? Good. You can point and flex your feet. I'm gonna play around with that glide there so that nothing's locking from the knees to the ankles, right? Same thing we did on the roller. Press the balls of your feet forward. I call these Barbie toes. You know exactly what that means. Barbie feet. Fingers out in front of you. Now all you're going to do is bend the elbows and drop your chin. And you're just be like, wow, hello. Relax the grip around the front of the hips. And then it's your journey. And then it's your journey. And then it's your journey. And my pelvis just completely rolled forward. I didn't try to keep it vertical. It wouldn't work that way. You gotta let it release. I'm letting my thigh bones and my pelvis rotate to each other. One more big breath. One more big exhale. Roll yourself on up as you breathe in. Use your hands. Bring those feet in. Feet together, knees open. Little hula hoops of the waist. Little hula hoops of the waist. Other direction. Big breathing. Breathe into your kidneys. Water energy, winter. And then bow forward as you exhale. Let it all go. Gratitude for your two beautiful feet and hands that carry you, that carry your babies, that feed yourself, that feed your family, that allow you to work and live, to express, to receive the abundant gifts of this lifetime. Roll yourself on up as you breathe in. Thank you so, so much. Keep doing this video. It'll be up on demand in like a few hours. So, come back to this repeatedly, especially over the next few weeks this winter. Keep warming and softening and opening yourself, coming back repeatedly to the softer parts of who we are. And in the vein of heating, next week we're going to hit some back bending. So I will see you on that live stream next Thursday, like close to Valentine's Day. I don't remember, but like close to Valentine's Day. So maybe we'll do a little love theme. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. I'm around. I'm in New York. We're back into the wonderful world of live classes. So if you are not based in New York and you're coming through, please shoot me an email and pop in. I'd love to see you in person. And that's all the news I've got. So have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next week.